So here I am at Royal Ascot. You can see the main stand behind me, all built in 2005. So everybody is dressed in their finery. The top hats, the ladies in dresses, occasionally skirts, mostly striped trousers, has to be black shoes. I don't know if there'd be lace-ups. In the old days, you weren't allowed to use phones at all. You weren't allowed to film, take photos. But there's such laxity these days. Somebody even taking off his top hat and getting away with it. Mostly black top hats, occasionally grey. Now, people said it was very pleasant to go a few hours without touching screens, no photos, no phone calls. If you're a military man or woman, you can wear your service, whatever, your dress uniform, like this guy here. I think he's the US Army. I've seen some US naval officers. I've seen a Finnish naval officer. I could tell by the badge on his shoulder that he was from Finland, and so on. Okay, so outside these champagne bars. Look at the hot air balloon effect above.
This is
these hot air balloons don't actually take off. People taking off their tailcoats and getting away with it. Well, it wouldn't have been tolerated when I came here first in 2005. Okay, so all these outdoor cafes and restaurants. So the corporate boxes are very wealthy people are boxes. They're bits only owners and trainers can go into. I saw His Britannic Majesty. Now, the Princess of Wales, that's Kate Middleton, she hasn't come. Now, I mean, I think she must be rather ill, her cancer. They only told us because it's unavoidable, and that's over a year ago. Still hasn't recovered. Is she just exhausted, or does she need some emergency treatment? See these guys. US and Canadian naval officers in their white dress uniform. Yeah, because it's an easy win for Kate. All she needed to do is sit in the carriage for that 10-minute drive up the racetrack, go into the royal box, and doesn't have to show her face again. Ooh. So anyway, a lot of female flesh on display. And so some of these poor ladies having to carry flat shoes, they actually walk a significant distance. I'm told very tricky to do in stilettos. I've never tried it myself. Yeah, what else? But then if it is a scorcher, the ladies can actually lose heat much more than we can, wearing 3 layers on my upper half. They're wearing 1. So that's it. Like sunglasses have become de rigueur because, you know, it's
I love your hat.
very sunny today. Anyway, it's a day like this when the weather is absolutely paradisical. Would rather be in any country, and there's a breath of wind, which is very pleasing. There was a bit of cloud cover earlier on, which was merciful because we don't want to be too burnt. Okay, and then over people are placing their bets. I'm not really a gambling one myself. Wagers here and the odds on the various horses. Now, if you read the Racing Post or you take the Turf or what are the other newspapers about this, then you'll know the form, as they say. You know about the horses, the trainers, the ground, and so on. Surely you must be able to come up with a mathematical formula to calculate probability, because, you know, gambling is just that. There isn't certainty, otherwise it wouldn't be gambling. But to know if you bet so much on this horse and so much on that horse, you can't lose. You know, even money, if you bet £1, you'll get your £1 back plus 1 more. You can have odds of 2 to 1, 3 to 1, anything up to 99 to 1, not even sure beyond 99 to 1 is allowed. Anything up to 30 horses in a race, but that's unusual. 10 is about the fewest. So there we go. Okay, the Wright Brothers restaurant. So here we are in the fair town of Ascot in Berkshire. Really a one-horse dorp, except a few days a year. Now, almost every Saturday there's a race here. The race course is going to accommodate about 70,000 racegoers. Here in Royal Ascot, they can have about 10,000. There's £195 a day just to come in. That's before you bought a sip of water, a bite to eat, anything like that. So the sky's the limit. The rig you have to wear as a man, that costs about 400 quid. Don't often get an excuse to wear it. You know, weddings, it's like 8 years I've worn this. I thought I might as well start wearing the trousers more often, get some value out of them. Okay, so the waistcoat and all the rest of that will need to go off to the dry cleaner. So here we go, looking for the exit. That's me bailing out, because remember, you can take an hour to queue to get into the railway station, because the last race is 6 o'clock, and they're serving in the bars and restaurants till 6:30, and then it's just a nightmare to get out. Oh, and here they're showing the horses in the last race. Oh, they're watering them down and take them across to some stable across the main street. There you go. Okay. So you get some idea how big it is. Look at all the feathers in that guy's topper. Wow. So, yeah, they're rather relaxed about the rules these days. I mean, I'm not a stickler for these things, or dress myself. I'm very, very dressed down. So I thought people might object to me filming, but not. Partly because there's some celebrities here and the VIPs would like to be able to go one day without being photographed or whatever, just to let their hair down to relax. And the idea of the no photos and no phone usage at all was you just enjoy yourself and socialise. That's what you're here to do. You are not here to take snaps or anything like that. And the horse is being led off like that. Okay, looking for the exit. So you get the idea, and then people are often socialising so much they're not even watching the racing. I bumped into a university friend who I've bumped into for over 20 years, so that was serendipitous. So when are we able to cross over here? Hello, may I walk across, please?
Yeah.
Sorry? Yeah, and I want the exit, please.
Nice selfie stick.
Yeah, thank you. Okay.
You just came up.
Is the exit that way?
You want to go through the exit, go through, and then up the stairs.
Okay, straight and left, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So anyway, 1711, the first horse races were run here at Ascot in Queen Anne's time. And it's been maybe the premier centre of horse racing in England since then. I know the Grand Nationals at Aintree near Liverpool. And where else is there? I can't think when there's more important. I know there's Epsom, there are loads of places like Goodwood, but this is perhaps the biggest horse race course in terms of how many racegoers it can accommodate, this social cachet. So Royal Ascot's the week where the royal family come, and it's always the week of Midsummer's Day. So the carousing goes on till 10 o'clock, and there are various levels of Ascot. They're cheaper versions of it. So you see people a bit more dressed down, the men in ordinary lounge suits without top hats. I don't know what the ladies' dress code is. So there's the Queen Anne enclosure, then there is the Windsor enclosure. I can't remember the lowest level of what it's called. I missed this one out. There are 4 of them anyway. And the main building's got 6 floors. The top 2 floors are for any of those with private boxes. So very affluent people. There's the Royal Box, obviously, which is on the 4th floor if memory serves. So you get an idea of what it's like. There we go. There might be a live band playing some fanfare. Came here with the Reverend Father David Johnson in 2000. First. You remember seeing Jodie Kidd when I happened to come here, was in 2000, posing for the paparazzi. Jodie, you can take photos before you come in or after you go out, but there are no photos once you're in here. So that's it. About to exit. That's enough for me, enjoyed it. And everything is really expensive in here. Frankie Dettori, the celebrated Italian jockey whose career was almost exclusive in the United Kingdom. He addressed the Rouse Society even when I was there, if memory serves. I don't recall why I didn't go. I mean, I'm not really into the turf, but, you know, I'm a fairly inquisitive person. I generally like to society meetings. And this man and woman in that green livery, it's like what used to wear at Harrods, but somebody told me they were the leftovers from Royal Curtains, these suits. I don't know what they're about. Okay, so that's me from Royal Ascot. Maybe the last time in my life I go. I enjoyed it, but that was kind of enough. So fat, can't even do up the top button. Is it too obvious? Anyway, I thought you couldn't bring children, but I've seen people who are obviously children below the age of 15. I thought only tomorrow, Saturday, you can bring kids. They say people are a bit more civilised and less leery in the Windsor enclosure because there are children around. All right, toodaloo.